nutrition certification, Cornell, does that say?
Mm-hmm.
And what for Monmouth?
Masters. Nurse practitioner.
All right. Everyone ready?
Yes.
Ready. We videoing it? Mm-hmm. All right. Chantea,
Yes, Jim.
do you have time to work out?
No.
How do you look so freaking amazing?
You know, I'm glad you asked. I go to the Fit Lab.
The Fit Lab, you say?
The Fit Lab, I say.
What in the world is the Fit Lab?
Well, the Fit Lab is the most innovative place to get your health and wellness and fitness in 15 minutes or less.
15 minutes or less?
One time a week.
Wow.
You know what? My dad once said, don't tell anybody that. It's either a secret or no one's going to believe it. But in my
I am living
experience...
proof.
Exactly. You're living proof. I'm living proof. And everybody else that comes to Fit Lab is living proof. You want to be living proof of the best version of yourself possible? Blend cutting-edge science and technology and put it into practical application. Conventional wisdom says you need to spend many hours each week exercising to see results. Science says otherwise. Developed with decades of experience, we provide the formula to ensure you achieve your health and fitness goals in just minutes each week. And better yet, the Fit Lab at Functionised continues to bring upgrades, optimizing performance, such as IV therapy. Why take your vitamins and waste them as they go in one end and out some form of the other when you can literally absorb them right on the spot? IV therapy with IV elements and Functionised is a home run.
Absolutely.
www.functionised, FUNCTIONISED.com. Check it out in the Urban Dictionary. It's a real word. Today on the Functionised Podcast, we have nurse Rebecca LaMarca.
Hi.
Hey, Rebecca. So Rebecca has a nutrition certification from Cornell. Better yet, she has a master's as a nurse practitioner.
Correct. Family.
Is
Yes.
this a test?
I know. Like, check, no.
Went to Villanova University and is very, very humble about her softball background.
Right. D1, Big East softball. Glory days now that I'm getting older.
What position did you play?
Pitcher in high school, but in college, third and outfield.
And how was the transition from high school to major college?
A lot different. I missed pitching, but obviously playing 8 games a week was a lot.
You don't say.
Yeah. Or in high school, you didn't play 3 a week, but lots of traveling. You become very close with everyone.
Mm-hmm.
Conditioning and strength, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Fit Lab would have been perfect.
Exactly.
Spent all
Right.
that time on the field and practicing everything else. And
What time were you in the weight room in the morning?
5 a.m.
Same with us
Mm-hmm.
in Tampa. And yeah, we were there for a couple hours. I don't know about you, but it was a lot.
Yeah, we did do a lot. We were there for about 2 hours. Like you said, we did a lot of weights and then sprints, a lot of bulking. But it was necessary for how much we played in the spring, so we did a lot in the fall and the winter. But we didn't do too much that I wish we did, like conditioning. We just did a lot of base running.
Makes
A lot
sense.
of weights
I mean,
and base running.
exactly. How far do you really have to run? I mean,
Yeah.
we would run through the city of Tampa once a week. They'd make us run 3 miles for some weird reason.
Oh, I like that. I wish they did that in Philadelphia.
Yeah.
In the nice parts, yeah.
Yeah. It wasn't bad. I mean, we were running past skyscrapers, but it's 100 degrees out.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah, in full uniform.
Yeah, you must have been sweating.
I don't know why they did that, but they did it nonetheless. Thinking back, knowing what you know now, what might you have changed to improve your performance? Would you have exercised differently? Would you have used any supplementation? Would you have done any recovery differently?
Right.
I mean,
Well,
you've obviously come in your education a lot since then.
Yeah, and especially getting older, I'm understanding my body a lot better. I'm sure we all do, which is why we turn to supplements and we get trainers and we talk to personnel that are experienced and have the education. to help us along the way. So of course I wish I had supplementation. I wish they told me, obviously protein's very important, multivitamins. I was very tired. I didn't understand studying and having, obviously to wake up so early, work out, no time for naps, class, go to practice. So it was a lot traveling as well. And I wish they had that more for the collegiate level.
Mm-hmm.
But it's so important now getting older because, back then when I was in college, I was like, wow, I'm tired. But when people get older, they have a lot more responsibility. Kids,
Mm-hmm.
Family duties,
Businesses.
business, right? Work. So I think supplementation is so important. It's one of the things that they say helps, even with sleep is working out's important. Obviously, that's one of the 6 things that they say. But it's eating proper and having your vitamins. So I think that's obviously helpful if you aren't having the diet you need. It's so hard. People are so busy now.
Mm-hmm.
And then a lot of people don't like eating healthy as well. So it is good for people. They may have deficiencies, malabsorption. Everyone's anatomy is different. So it's good to get the testing done.
Ain't testing, you're guessing, right?
Right. At your facility.
Of course, where else?
Yeah.
No, I find,
yeah.
I don't know what you have seen, but pro athletes oftentimes can either be on top of their game or not so much, like anybody. But those that are typically on top of the game and around the games for long periods of time are the ones that are really testing. They are honing in on everything to the minutia.
Right.
And I think that the general public doesn't realize that there are role models to follow for a reason. If somebody is able to perform at a high level for a long period of time, why not do that yourself?
Exactly. You're right. Athletes who are the gold medal winners are people that understand their bodies the best.
Mm-hmm.
They do have the testing. They have the trainers. They do have the supplements, and that is what makes them the best. But we didn't know that a lot. And now that there's social media, a lot of, celebrities put posts out there what they do to help tell people, you need to be more involved for your health. So I think that's so vital to become obviously a better you, like
Right.
you're saying. Right.
It's amazing. A lot of people think that lifestyles like that are only for the rich and famous and
Right.
only for celebrities.
Mm-hmm.
And just because celebrities will be seen getting IVs, for instance, people think, oh, it's too much for me. It's for celebrities and celebrities only. Oh, it's for pro athletes and pro athletes only. Woe is me. I'm going to go to the local pharmacy
Right.
and pick up the cheapest stuff possible, then I'm going to get results.
Yeah.
What do you think about that?
So I have a lot to say about that.
Good.
Yeah, so people will then go to Vitamin Shop, GNC. Those are the top ones that you see when you drive by somewhere and you're like, I need to get some vitamins.
Right.
But a lot of them aren't FDA regulated. They have other components in them and ingredients that are harmful to your body.
Mm-hmm.
You don't know. Yes, it's cheap, but what is in there? You don't quite know. Whereas also it goes in the GI tract and we don't absorb. Some people absorb, 20%, others 60%. There's a range depending on, like I said, your anatomy. But with the IV vitamin therapy, it is absorbed 100%. People feel it right away. And, depending on what type of vitamin they get, and feel it along throughout the week. So I think it's great. And then, the amount people pay for, food or, other type of wellness things, it's comparable. It's not that much different. Like a tub of protein at Vitamin Shop is, sometimes $50 to $60, depending on what type it is, unless you get one with a lot of whey. It's like $20, but I mean, a IV is $100. So it's just, you have to think of yourself. Physical trainers are, a lot of money too, but it's really about self-worth and self-love, self-care, all of those self-blank.
That's exactly
Yeah.
it. A lot of people don't place the priorities on themselves, and it's really easy to spend the money elsewhere if you
Right.
don't take yourself into consideration.
Right. Well, that's what's great, which really caught my eye about you guys is that, when someone comes into your fit facility, the Fit Functionized, they can be like, I don't know what to do. And you guys can do everything right there. So, they don't need to go anywhere else. There's not some other aesthetics or modalities that you're trying to make money on. It's just like, here is, basically people work out and then might take supplements when they go home and then have coaching as well on the side. But that you do that all there.
Right.
Right.
The easiest person to work with is somebody that comes in just like that. Listen, I have no idea what to do. I used to be an All-American back in college, and I'm clueless now. I'm doing great in business, but my triglycerides are up. Doctor said I'm going to have a heart attack any day now. I want to be around for my grandkids. You are now the coach. You are the ringleader. Whatever you say, I do.
Right.
Love that. However, you also have the same exact person, but the mentality is different, saying, I know I should do something. And then fighting you got to win them over on every last aspect. Meanwhile, they know, but just chipping away and chipping away and chipping away until they finally realize, listen, I need it. You're right. And then they jump in full-heartedly and do it.
I don't think people realize how much coaching is so important. I hate, comparing it, but it's like almost like mental health. You can't just give someone medications and hope they get better. You need to talk to them. They need to have someone to talk to. Whereas, having that progression to be healthy when you're not, you need to talk to someone. You need to talk about what stresses you out, why you're going to those foods, why something's not working. Stress is so big. Our cortisol levels, some people don't understand, like lack of sleep, why they're not losing weight. And it's good to kind of reflect upon that. So Chantea, that's where you come in too.
I know.
Yeah.
Anytime
Like,
I
I
say
love it.
coaching, and it's, I don't like the term necessarily, coaching, because I think that it is overutilized a lot in my profession with being sports psychology as my background. So there's a lot of psychology principles, but there's a lot of psychophysiology principles of stress. And as you mentioned, people don't understand how their bodies are really responding to stress and the impact that it has on their overall well-being. So taking into consideration, what's your heart rate variability, how are you managing, how's your breathing, are you eating well, are you sleeping well, taking the whole person into account and then chipping away on all of the things that are tearing down their health, is what I really love to do. So it's finding that breakthrough on saying, okay, you know what, this is the reason I experienced this, and now I know how to change it.
Right.
Because without being willing to change, nobody's going to change. And that's the biggest component to being a successful human, is being willing to change. And then knowing you don't know everything, and then going to the people that do. That's why we love partnering up with you, because you're a great go-to.
Right.
We don't have the background in nursing and IVs. So when we don't know the information, we go directly to the sources. So,
And even better, time to just embarrass myself on worldwide podcasting. What happens to me typically, Chantea, back in the day when I see a needle?
You pass out.
Right.
Yes.
Gone. Done.
Yes.
To the ground.
Yes.
No way.
Exactly.
No, he does.
What happened with those tattoos?
He passed out in the middle of them.
And they finished up while I'm out cold.
I told him, just go ahead. He'll be fine.
When I was in the hospital in March.
Not knowing what it looks like when you wake up.
Yeah, hopefully it's not just some white bunny rabbit. When I was in the hospital back in March, every time they'd come to draw blood, and then even administering, we already had the IV poured in, I'm grabbing onto the sheets until the 4 o'clock in the morning guy decided a brachial artery draw would be fun because I have nice veins.
Yeah.
Then he deserved, that's why I could see having panic. But like so many, people are scared of needles. And I'm sure you've come across that a lot.
I feel like most of our clients are people who are scared of needles. We don't have, a lot of people wonder and come to us because we are big into wellness. We don't do too much hangover. We do treat so many health conditions, or help, not treat. But it's a lot of people that are scared. But I make sure that I reassure with them that I go through a huge screening process with our nurses. And we don't have a lot of nurses, and we try to make it work with what we have, and they're great. They all work in the ER. They do multiple sticks. I have them do a stick on me as well and make sure I have references for such a small company. But, we try to be open every day and be accessible for many people. But it works out because I tell them that this is a great person and they make time for it, and it works well. But that is something that I try to reassure with them. And then once they get it and they have it, hopefully even with you.
I've got it done. We're good.
Yeah, that kind of that panic goes away a bit. It is an out-of-pocket expense. So people, not like the hospital where it's covered by insurance and you kind of get like a new nurse or someone that doesn't know, and we have to make sure that we get you on the first or second stick. So there's a high bar, and we hope to reach that every time, and that is the most reassuring thing that I do tell them. There's an intense orientation process. We spend hours with them teaching them about the vitamins because it is a specialty. We want our nurses to be, educating the clients and talking to them and kind of reassuring them that they're doing the right thing at the same time. But that's really it.
Well, I mean, we had a great experience.
Yeah,
it was amazing. Absolutely. And that's
that
before
was-
the massage chairs.
Yeah, well, we have massage chairs now.
I mean, last time, and I'll put the pictures up for this podcast in the
Yeah.
show notes, but last time we literally were in the lab. We took 2 chairs from the waiting room. We had, 3 patients in the lab itself
Yeah.
because the treatment room was being used. Somebody else was going through a workout at the time, so Chantea and I are literally sitting there, holding hands, needles stuck in our arms, getting some pretty kick-ass IVs, I gotta say.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah, how did you guys feel after?
Amazing.
Yeah,
Yeah, I mean, I love
it too. I
was.
wish I had the time more.
It was like cloud 9. You just kind of feel invincible.
We were
and
going
maybe
away.
this is because we got the ultimate, and
We did get the ultimate. We were going away that night for the weekend, and I was personally so absolutely burnt out. My heart rate variability was not close to where it should be. I was a poor performer at that point, and I knew I'm going away for the weekend. I need to have some oomph, some stamina, even if I'm going to sleep till 10 in the morning. And it definitely helped. I felt like a brand new person, and when I woke up the next morning, even better.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, you did get the limitless one, which is we call it all-in-one. But there's so many factors in it that I do tell clients is very versatile for so many health conditions and even people being tired. I'm sure we'll get into each one more.
In a
That
moment
was
or
going
two.
to be some more follow-up questions. Absolutely.
I don't want to get into too much.
No, let's get into all of them.
Okay.
So first, IVs.
Yeah.
I mean, the premise behind it is direct absorption. Would that be correct?
Correct.
So instead of taking your pill, going through the entire digestive tract to hopefully get between depends on the quality even, from a couple percent to at most maybe 20% in the body, you're getting direct absorption into the bloodstream.
Right. I mean, you do excrete it. The kidneys obviously help process that. And we do advise getting these IVs weekly. It doesn't really even matter which type of one. I mean, for skin brightening effects, you need to do it at least 4 times weekly to have the hardening of the skin and glowing, which our clients do have. Asian population is really big. In the Philippines, they do it a lot. And also for the weight loss, we advise it 6 weeks, at least 6 times weekly. And why is that? That lipo or MIC shot, the amino acids do last about a week with the B12 and the L-carnitine that's in it as well, that help with the boost in metabolism and kind of like burning through fat.
Now, the fun part about that one, I started looking up a little bit into, of course, all the formulas. We're
Right.
incorporated. I got to know in and out of it. So looking at L-carnitine, I know it's been around the bodybuilding world forever, and individuals swear by it. It works great in rodents if they're taking it orally.
Yeah.
It has shown no effect really in humans, the L-carnitine, taking it orally. However,
But so many
intravenously,
yeah.
so many people
So
love
many
the
people
bro
take,
science.
but
It's
so
bro
many people
science.
take it though.
Yeah, they do.
I was with someone who bodybuilded. My roommate from college, she's a bodybuilder and swimsuit model, and L-carnitine is what everyone takes.
Of course.
It's never on the shelves even when you go to somewhere that offers vitamins. So I have to say, what people feel from the L-carnitine, even if they get it as a booster, is that they feel like when they wake up or afterwards that they feel skinny, almost like you went to the bathroom.
It helps fat metabolism.
Yeah, they feel lighter.
That's the big difference,
and they get that
though.
from that.
Yep.
So, I even advise it for people for gut health that might have some inflammation or people are kind of feeling foggy. To add it as a booster, I always advise it. A lot of people do get the weight loss one, not just for weight loss purposes. So I think that's great. I wish I got it all the time, but because we all struggle with that. When people feel bloated, they feel sluggish. So it's a great way to
absolutely
kind of not feel like that, especially maybe even before a workout.
I was just going to say, if we're really trying to tweak it here, you get the L-carnitine because it is different than the oral form. So, I mean, substance the same, but the delivery is different. So now it's actually working. So helping with fat metabolism, if you're going in and doing some type of a cardiovascular event.
Like Carol?
Something even longer than Carol, I would say. If you're going to do a longer run. Carol's in, out, and done. With Carol, I would say utilize the L-carnitine afterward, because now your body, utilizing the high-intensity interval training, you're in an anaerobic state. So afterward, your body is then going to be grabbing in. It's like when your heart rate goes up after your sprints. So L-carnitine after a Carol ride would be amazing. If you're going to do a long, slow cardio, if you can go do a long run, taking it before your run for fat loss purposes is a little hack of the day.
You do, if you have something intense and work out, we do advise, though, to get all that fluid at least 4 hours before. We don't want to put someone in fluid overload.
Smart.
Yeah. So even if they are doing a workout, you wouldn't want to do it right before. Even though, a lot of other IV companies, which we're trying to do a bit more in New Jersey, I know it's very new to New Jersey, but we want to go to, marathons and do maybe half bags beforehand. The B12 shots are so big at these marathons. The CoQ10 helps with endurance. Tons of the runners come in line and get shots, so they love it.
Yes, definitely understand.
But before the New York City Marathon, we did do a lot of runners up in our Hoboken location of just people just getting just a bag. They didn't even want to mess with the vitamins because they were so disciplined before the run. They didn't want to mess anything up. But it is great. I mean, just seeing how much just fluids help, not just obviously vitamins. But I think it's so vital for people who are training, like we said in the beginning, the supplementation.
And with the runners, it's great too, especially getting it ahead of time, because it's been found, as some of the listeners may already know, runners who are constantly consuming water throughout the entire duration of a marathon are the ones that typically have health-related problems afterward. They flush out all their electrolytes. People think that they die of dehydration afterward, and that's not necessarily the case. So this gives them a way to stay hydrated, keep the electrolytes, and not constantly just be flushing it out and then collapse at the very end.
Exactly. Well, a lot of runners do tell us when we're there that they don't grab water when they're running. They go straight through, which is the best thing to do. So, no, that is great, because getting some fluids. It's isotonic fluid. So, typically we do give lactated ringers that has a bit more potassium in it than normal saline. In addition, we just think it's safer. It's a lighter on the kidneys opposed to normal saline. When people have dialysis or getting surgery, typically they get lactated ringers. It's the same. It just has a bit more potassium. We're not going to have, obviously, overload of potassium. But we just think it's better. The osmolarity rate is also higher. What does that mean? Is that the fluid actually stays in the body longer. Your kidneys don't excrete it as fast as normal saline does. So sometimes when people get normal saline, they might feel rejuvenated a bit faster than the LR, but we want them to have the long-term effects more than just the immediate, which is our goal, because we are the wellness, more of a wellness thing. You might not feel it right away, but during that week, you will still feel it. Right.
What about some of the other formulas that you have? What are some popular ones and why?
Okay, so the Myers cocktail is very popular.
Mr. Myers with the hangovers.
I think it's, like Dr. Myers or Mr. Myers, but he's the one that kind of invented this cocktail. years ago, and I think all companies have them. But what's great about it is that we almost call it like the multivitamin, even though it doesn't have all the vitamins, because it's not really for energy. It's more for just getting the vitamins that are very essential for your body that you're lacking. Vitamin C, if anyone asks me a question about what they should get in their IV, even if they get a Fit and Strong, which is our basic, just the fluid, I always advise vitamin C. I mean, not only does it help with our cancer clients and with viruses and bacteria, but it's just so essential. It helps, obviously, kill the viruses in the cell, some other things. It absorbs iron. So people who think that they're iron deficient want the B12 shot. Well, vitamin C helps that as well. It helps with thyroid function. Wound healing is a big one, and with the bones and teeth, collagen. So I really love vitamin C. It's great. Other things is magnesium. We use that in like our migraine relief. So what are some causes of even migraine is not having enough magnesium. So that's why we have it in there. But going back to the Myers, it vasodilates the cells. It helps with inflammation. And a lot of times as well, people might have some inflammation is with the vitamin D deficiency. So we have calcium that helps reuptake that as well in the Myers, and the B complexes, which are so big because that does give people energy, but it also helps with immune function and cardiovascular function. So all of the B complexes are in there. You guys received the B complexes too. It's just like taking the B complex pill. You just take the Super B complex from the store, or even Walgreens. It's yellow. It makes your pee yellow. You even kind of taste it in your mouth. You're like, ew. You actually taste that with the IV.
We did. He noticed different tastes through that with the zinc.
Thank you very much for the 5-star dinner, that extra flavoring.
Yeah, people do taste the vitamins because, like I said, see, that just tells you it's 100% absorbed. It goes in right away. The bag is yellow. That's why in a lot of our pictures, we do great with our clients. They're very supportive of the business. They love the nurses, so we ask for pictures. And most of the pictures that you see are people with the yellow bags because the B complexes come in most of our IV services. So it's great. It's essential. Like I said, it helps people give energy, but it helps with inflammation. So a lot of these people who get it are people with anxiety, people for gut health, fibromyalgia, or hormonal imbalances. Like that thyroid function, like I was saying, are some of the key ones why they get Myers.
So it's not necessarily the hangover bag.
No, we don't. We really don't do that often.
That's amazing. I would have thought that would have been one of the most popular ones, especially your main location right on the beach there.
Other IV companies, yes, it seems like from maybe their social media. I'm not quite sure. I haven't gone or I don't ask, but because we are so big into the wellness aspect from the beginning, and we really do want to help the health conditions or get someone better, that doesn't really come through the door too often. Yesterday we had a group of people in LBI and all wellness IVs overlooking the sunset. I was like, oh, can't even beat that. But having something down there, I always think, but it doesn't really come. You know what? A lot of people can feel better just getting a vitamin drip too. They don't necessarily need the Toradol or Zofran, which helps. Toradol is obviously anti-inflammatory, and it helps with inflammation. It's obviously like taking an Aleve or Advil, if anyone doesn't know, but it's stronger. You would get it when you're in the ER. And then Zofran helps with anti-nausea and people who kind of feel sick and can't eat when they're hungover. But unless you feel like you almost need to go to the ER, you don't necessarily need that. That's more on the medication side, and we don't really like doing that.
Right.
So, like I said, we're purely want to focus on the vitamins, and I even advise that for some of the hangover clients. And you can actually feel a lot better with just the vitamin C and B complexes and a B12 shot. B12, you are lacking that iron when you drink and the sugar, so it helps reuptake that as well when you're hungover. So I always advise it for people if they're not looking for just medications.
A lot of athletes would say that they're just getting B12 shots, and we know that it's a little bit more than B12 shots. Do you have any athletes that have typically come in looking for IVs for masking purposes?
Oh, that's a good question. Yes, but we're I hate to say like we're basic or we don't go outside our norms. We really just follow standards and we don't really change things around. So if people do want to get something outside to the B12 and want some like more energy, we add the MIC or the lipo shot, which is called a lipotryptic shot, and that they can get that with the B12 or the CoQ10, like I was saying. But we don't give them really a altered IV. People can add whatever they want in it depending on them, but it's really client dependent. Anyone can pick what they want in their IV. We're not like another company that's just like, these are our IVs, because a lot of companies buy things pre-packed. We buy everything separate. So if you want something, off the radar, then we're into it. But we just have to get your medical history, allergies, any surgical history, etc., to make sure you're okay.
So athletes, if you're being tested by the World Anti-Doping Association standards, in order to water down the EPO that may be in your system, be careful.
We've had MLB players, I don't want to say the names because they weren't compliant to pictures, but we went to Harvey Cedars in LB, I'll never forget this day, and I got the names of them. They weren't in the All-Star game, that's why, and they had a house there.
So now everybody knows who they are. Great.
Oh, okay. They weren't there.
Of course.
But so we asked for pictures, no, but I guess that's a big controversy. Does it show up in the test? I always say no. We excrete it. It's not anything bad. But I guess they drug test them so frequently.
Right. It's not about what's in what you're giving.
Yeah.
It's about what it's doing to what's already in their system.
Right.
Trying to cheat the system and
right. They're trying to obviously get hydration, but that's not going to work because a lot of what they're taking is, IM, which lasts a very long time. Well, it's weak. Long term. Whereas this is excreted fast, and you still have what you have in your muscle. Right. So it's really not going to work that well.
Right. A lot of guys, when it comes to EPO, that's one thing. When it comes to testosterone, a lot of athletes who get tested daily are doing the quick in, quick out, water-based versions of testosterone.
Well, we do testosterone replacement therapy. That's something that you guys can even ask for labs, but we're strict upon that too. There's so many doctors that lose their licenses and people that have some serious problems due to taking testosterone without needing it. Everyone out there listening, it's not healthy. People go into Addisonian's crisis. They have heart issues. It's just not smart.
It's a big thing now, especially the anti-aging effects of different hormones, especially testosterone. When men's testosterone levels are down into the double digits when they're in their 50s and 60s, they're looking for that extra boost, which is a lot different than a guy in their 20s looking to have muscles that will be like kind of on, what was it, South Park we were watching that they were making fun of New Jersey?
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Yeah, you notice a New Jersey person from a mile away.
Tight t-shirt, jeans that are fitting like that, muscles out there.
I think it's the gel as well.
Yes.
I don't notice anywhere else that people use so much. It's not even gel, like mousse, wax. Don't they use wax now?
Yeah. I don't know what you're talking about. It's actually a coconut stick.
It's
a coconut stick for skin.
But yeah, everywhere else is this very kind of rugged hair. So
there are some idiosyncrasy quirks here in New Jersey, and I can say that I'm not from New Jersey. So
her mom came up to visit one time. We were playing church league softball.
Yeah.
Something I swore I'd never do. But nonetheless, was there, and everyone's name is what, Michael or Vinny?
Pretty much.
And her mom just couldn't stop it. Everyone's name is Michael or Vinny, and they talk funny. And
the first time
she's right
that she came to visit, and our oldest was in preschool, and she started to say sparkle. It wasn't sparkle, it was sparkle.
I think she was saying hot dog.
And hot dog. And my mom, I'm from Texas. My whole family's from Texas. So to have a grandchild have this accent, it was like beyond what she could comprehend. And now we have 2 other New Jersey babies. She's a Florida baby. So she makes it a very big point to say she is a Florida girl and not a Jersey girl. And it's okay, but you notice different things up here. And it's fun to see the trends. It's fun to see the cultures, you know, and who is more interested in health and wellness. I mean, there's definitely a category of their own. You know who really cares about it, and those are the ones that come see us. You know, those are the ones that are always asking questions. What else can I do to be better? You know, what do you recommend? And so, you know, for us, it's great to be able to recommend.
Let's get into the nitty-gritty, the fun one, NAD+.
Yes.
To me, that is it's something that we still haven't really scratched the surface on the amazing benefits of NAD.
Yeah, exactly. So there's not much research about it. There's not really much anything other than like blogs, online, maybe clients saying that I felt so much better after. But all in all, everyone has to just remember that it is a component of B3. It is a vitamin. What it does, it replenishes the mitochondria in our cells. When I talk to someone on the phone, like when we get older, we get depressed, we have anxiety. It's just part of human nature. It's the aging process. Dopamine, we don't have as much. So we kind of compare it, even though it's not dopamine, but we replenish what's needed in the body to have energy. Some of our clients feel like they are reborn, they state. They are a new person, depending on the programs. It's really treating everything. We even have a Parkinson's client that their dystonia was significantly better after having NAD, which was truly amazing to me. She called and she was like, I've read that this helps with dystonia. And I was like, well, we know that it does based on, you know, learning when I was at Cornell, and now I'm doing functional medicine. So I'm trying to get, you know, a bit more into it so I can help educate the clients better. But she's like, no, I'm doing it. I'm like, okay. And she walked right out of the chair, whereas before she needed 2 of her family members to help her in. So it's stuff like that we see, even our nurses that are so passionate about it, including myself, which keeps me driving around New Jersey and answering the phone directly, because it's just amazing to see the benefits. We just helped a boy with Lyme's. So with that is, you know, Lyme's, a lot of people feel very tired. Some of them are even bedridden depending on the progression of Lyme's, which is unfortunate, but the NAD is supposed to help them have that energy. You know, vice versa. Some people that have Lyme's get treatment in United Kingdom with high doses of glutathione, 4 grams. So you can really do either or depending on how much you read and you feel strongly about. And the big is the detox, the drug detox.
You're a big proponent of that.
Yeah, it's, you know, people are hesitant paying and are like, well, there's not a lot on it, but everyone that we've had has just sent me such loving text messages. Why didn't my psychiatrist advise this?
Right.
Right, because it does affect the brain
Right.
and the addictive properties
so
within that.
That's what it does. It helps decrease the cravings. So it's almost like you know, are on maybe methadone, you don't have cravings for heroin. But then people call methadone liquid handcuffs. And we can detox off methadone as well. So it's going from taking something to nothing, whereas there's a lot of, obviously, FDA regulated medications like methadone or Suboxone that you do have to take daily. So it's, do I want to keep doing this? And we do have addictive personalities. Not only that, childhood traumas, you know, mental health is so big now, but the biggest thing is that people just are becoming over medicated. So I have this problem, here is this. Why is that? You know, health insurance doesn't, you know, pay for the time for someone to sit and talk to someone. So the easy way out is just giving medication. And people don't have the time to maybe go get acupuncture, have massage therapy, physical therapy. They want the quick fix, you know, unfortunately. But not everyone. in case some people are like, no, that's not the way it is. That's listening.
A lot of people want that magic pill. They
Right.
just want to feel better. They don't care how it happens.
So we have done detoxes. I got trained in the bridge. I connected a device that helps with detox symptoms. It goes to the vagus nerve, and that's for our opiate detox. But we've done a lot of alcohol, and Adderall is big. So a lot of people want to feel, obviously awake and alert. Nowadays, people have to be working like 16 hours a day and being on top of everything and handing in deadlines and are prescribed Adderall. And they want to get off of it. They don't want to take it anymore because they want to be healthier, which is why they come to us, because it's wellness.
Right.
So we detox off of Adderall, and we've had people not needing Adderall immediately after, which is
Are you
amazing.
using the bridge for that or the NAD?
No, just the NAD. The
Okay.
bridge is just for opiate detox.
Okay.
And, we do have all the medications needed, not necessarily like, it's not a huge detox center, but we have muscle relaxers, anti-seizure meds, just in case if we do detox someone from Xanax is a big one. If you stop Xanax, you're prone to having seizures. So
They don't tell you that when they prescribe that, do they?
no, they
You
don't.
gotta read that small print.
It's PRN and people take it consistently. Now it's crazy. My career, I did oncology at the Cancer Institute, and currently, because I'm starting this business and we're doing the business and I still have to pay for bills, etc. I do drug addiction now. So I work at a medication assisted treatment center, and just learning about drug addiction has made me very passionate about the NAD and the detox programs, which is why I got into the bridge. We use PEMF devices, which is just like pulse stimulators.
I love PEMF devices.
So
they are amazing brain tools.
they are.
There's one strapped to the headrest in the car right now.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
Yeah. No, we include that in our detox program. So when people see the price, they're like, but NAD is very expensive itself, the vials, but we do include these devices, infrared light. We include Myers, Gluta, lunch, because you are sitting there all day.
Right.
So we try to make it as easy as possible for someone. I mean, it is really cool.
How long would a full process take? Like how many?
So like from Adderall or alcohol is a 6-day process.
Okay.
And then for opiates, it's 10-day, and then heroin, methadone, Xanax is 15, and all of them range from 4 to 10 hours
Per session?
Yeah, per session, and it's daily.
Okay.
So someone's got to take off work. But we do have a lot of people that just get it for, hypertension and diabetes is big. And it helps actually treat that. We've had people that don't need to take their hypertension meds after they do the 3-day program. Even with, diabetes, like I said, people aren't eating well, but then they don't really have the cravings to have those foods. Those foods, it's all that dopamine process in the brain. It's that craving to get that McDonald's or
That
something.
immediate satisfaction.
Yes. So I feel it even helps them eat better from what they say. I wish more people were educated about NAD because it is so awesome. Like I said, I become more passionate about it seeing the clients, not just reading about it and being like, wow, this is cool, or this is a big program. It's having those clients are the ones that, tell their friends, are consistent, and leave us the best reviews, because they're just so amazed by it, moved by it.
When they can notice everything, it makes a big difference. There's
Right.
so many times people go out for a treatment and they don't notice what's going on, and it doesn't make it worth it for them to go back.
Right.
They don't give it the chance.
Right.
But when you can actually see those benefits, which is amazing, and I'm all for the NAD plus, just for cognitive purposes. Just to focus better, study better, perform better. It's amazing.
What you're doing in your work, Chantea,
Absolutely.
utilizing your technology, your tools, and to be able to replenish neurotransmitters at the same time, optimize mitochondrial function in the brain, and literally rewire the brain from a normal, natural standpoint, then what you're doing, it's a home run.
Absolutely. You could totally get a drip while you're working with me doing biofeedback and heart rate variability training. And then you're just going to get that much better.
Right. It goes back to even the cost, unfortunately, but it's like getting a $10 gym membership at Planet Fitness opposed to paying for a trainer. Like I said, you're going to have the drive, results, talking, understanding the body, and having those results in the end.
Mm-hmm.
So, when I speak to the clients over the phone or even see them in person, I try to tell them what is the best. And then they're like, that's very expensive. And I'm like, well, then we can't guarantee anything. This is the best for what you have. Rheumatoid arthritis even helps. And I know it's costly, but they pay for getting the rheumatoid arthritis infusions anyways. So a lot is not covered by health insurance regarding a lot now. Even home care. So our mobile is big because people pay out of pocket even for home care. Even though some is accepted by insurance. So, that's one thing too, is that insurance you can pay for it and then put it towards insurance and saying that you need hydration because you have dehydration. So that part is covered even if you were to go to a clinic and get a bag of fluid or the ER. But then the vitamins are not covered.
Mm-hmm.
If that was going to be a question coming up.
No, but good to know. Definitely good to know. And then
people love knowing that.
That's a big question about a lot of what I do. Does insurance cover it?
Mm-hmm.
No.
It doesn't. And unfortunately, in this day and age, insurance isn't even paying physicians anymore.
Yeah.
And as a result, more and more physicians are going to cash-based practice. And you've got a choice. You can live in pain. You can live a life that you don't like and keep on buying crap.
Mm-hmm.
Absolute crap ton of crap, and live that way or invest in your health.
Right.
I personally choose to invest in my health. You open up the checkbook, you know where it's going.
People need to become aware of the healthcare changes as well. So many physicians can't be private practice now. You have to look on both sides. They have to be a physician of a hospital because they can't have enough patients come through the door to pay for the bills, so then the hospital pays them a salary already. It's becoming harder on both sides.
Mm-hmm.
It's not like physicians are like, I want to take your money. It's, we're trying to make a living as well, but this is going to be something you need to pay for anyways. I pay for medications when I pick them up at the pharmacy. I still have to pay when I have a yearly gyno appointment. I have to pay still, even though I went for my yearly gyno. Isn't that supposed to be covered? So it's crazy. You still need to pay. It's just at first that you don't know. When you go, you give them your insurance card, and then you get a bill in the mail a month later.
Right.
So
insurance company's not paying.
Right. Yeah.
I want to have another podcast on NAD+.
All right.
Exclusively on NAD+, if you're up for it. And
we'll get a little drips. We'll get some drips going.
And we'll do drips at the same time.
Yeah,
you down for that?
feel it. Yeah, because you will feel it right away. Actually, if you can have the talk. So typically, people, I don't compare it to niacin, but people almost feel like the flush like niacin when they do have it, but you do feel it when it goes in. You can't make the drip faster, no matter how strong you.
No racing me on this one.
Yeah,
it was kind of funny because I started my drip before he did, and he ended up finishing it before I did. So
right,
I win.
Yeah.
We say usually how large your veins are and your blood pressure at the same time, depending how fast it goes. But with the NAD, no matter how big you are and strong you are, and how many times you've gotten an IV, you're probably going to be the one that can't handle it the most. Our nurses, it says an hour and a half for the smallest dose, but sometimes our nurses are there longer. And we have to describe to the clients that time is more money because we only have a pro rate based on time. That means we have the real stuff, but I just have to say that. And the effects are immediate. But we can have a podcast about it. Some people are scared about it despite all the amazing things because you do have lucid dreams. You can't sleep at night. I wouldn't say that you need to have anything big within the next week. People eat like they're 12 years old, they say, because their metabolism's increased so much. They not only lose weight, so people do get this to lose weight as well, but they eat like a pig. They can't sleep. They have diarrhea, constipation. So those are some symptoms that happen after, but some
I'm rethinking
clients-
this podcast all the time.
We'll have to do an after
No,
podcast.
seriously. I mean,
No, the amazing benefits, it lasts about a week or two, but the benefits of it and how you feel after, that stuff does pass. Nothing lasts longer from any of the clients. All my NAD clients, I have always texted after, even months after, to see how they feel. And all of them said they feel great and they come back. So, but those are some of the side effects for people who are new to it. Other people who get it once a month, which is our drug detox clients, that doesn't happen to them. They kind of know what to expect.
Right.
It's just normal.
you have to operate at an extremely high level every day and give everybody the absolute best. It's worth it. And then with the new training schedule that we've kind of been starting to put together, it's going to be worth it. There's going to be a lot of recovery necessary. So,
Yeah, these programs are going to be amazing, changing lives. So I think that's really awesome.
absolutely.
Yeah.
So with that, we're going to wrap it up. If you have questions, please contact us, support@functionized.com. You can DM us at Functionized. If they want to speak with you, Nurse Rebecca, how do they contact you?
Just call our main number, 1-888-611-DRIP. No matter what option you press, you get me.
Love the accessibility.
If you have not already done so, take a screenshot of this podcast, post it to your story, and tag us at Functionized, and tag IV Elements.
Elements_New Jersey.
Exactly. We will follow you. We will comment on your stuff if it's good. No, seriously, we'll do it anyway. And that's another podcast for us. So,
Just
Nurse Rebecca, thank you so much for being here.
Thank you guys. It was
Oh.
awesome.
pleasure having you.
Yeah.
Chantea, Beauty Brains Brawn.
I'm out.
This is
Outie.
Mad Scientist. I am out.
Yeah, what am I? Vitamin Becky.
Oh, Vitamin Becky. All right.
Vitamin Becky.
Are you out?
I'm outie.
There you go.